Okay, so here I am. I've been using Sportplan for sessions a wee while ago. I'm not going to pretend I've got it absolutely sussed, but let's see how this goes. So, session is prep for leg side. I can't actually remember where the thing. We'll sort that out later. I've got 75 mins. Number of players should be at least 10, 11. We'll say 11 for now. Mixed. We've got all the equipment we need. Session goals, right. So, marking. So, yeah, our lads need to stop watching the effing ball when the opposition has it, and yeah, it's like at the moment they seem to think that it doesn't matter what's going on behind them because they're confident that they can intercept any pass, no matter where that pass is put. Which, I suppose at a certain level is a fair assumption, but it's very easy to put a ball past you along the ground, and if there's another opposition player behind you, it's easy for them to gather that ball and put it in the back of the net, or at least find themselves in an attacking situation. So this session is going to be very much aimed at a conservative approach to defending, really, especially to one-to-one defending, making sure that if you're the last defender, then you are goal side to the opposing striker, and if you are not the last defender but you are one of the defenders, then you are there ready to, well, basically matching up. So if there's two strikers or two attackers near your goal or down your end of the field, that you have yourself and another down there, and obviously that all cascades to the wingers. We play 1-2-3-1 7-a-side football. So yeah, it's just trying to get that across. Obviously it sounds like it's most important for the two defenders, but really the three midfielders also need to be engaged with this and thinking about their role. I think our lads are pretty good at tracking back, but they're not. That's kind of a reactive thing, whereas obviously we really want them to be a bit more proactive in making sure that they've got the danger areas covered, or the danger players covered. So, marking goal side and positional. When I say positional, I guess I'm talking about, as I said, knowing what their role is on defence based on what position they're playing. Personal coaching goals. I need to somehow get the message across in a format that they understand. So concise. Talk. Oh God, what's going on? Discussed last match. Or beer. React to go on. because obviously one of the coaches mentioned that there wasn't really any togetherness. In the previous match we were down 3-1 and came back to draw 3-all, so I made a point of saying that I'm really proud that you guys did that. It sounds like, I've only got feedback from an assistant coach in a WhatsApp, so it's not exactly detailed, but it sounds like there was a lack of togetherness, which to me means that a few of the lads dropped their heads, and I don't know for sure, but I know that in the past there has been some negative talk. So we want to address that, really make sure that we pick the lads back up. So I've got to figure out a way to try and get that happening at the start of the session before we actually do any practice. I should probably have a arrival activity in here, which I'll just see if I can check in. I'm not sure if I can do this now. No. Anyway, we'll worry about it later. How do we react to going down goal defense? Let's see what we can do here. Okay. Alright. So the arrival activity we've been using recently has purely been half-court football. My reasoning for that is that you can play half-court football with any number of lads, obviously 2 and above. Kids come to play football. For me, I want them to be able to play as much football as they can. And half-court football, I think, is brilliant. The lads know that what the rules are. They don't need a referee. Okay, sometimes they get caught and they go down, but at the end of the day, if they were just messing around as mates, then this is what they'd do. They'd play a match of football. And I don't want them playing full court football because we haven't got two goals set up early in the session. But half court football means they do less long distance running up and down the field, and they're also prompted to think about how they're going to attack and how they're going to defend. So I like it. I love it, to be fair. It's very hands off. So here I want to get across the idea of how we mark a goal side and stay in our positions. So I think that to begin with, it's going to be better off if we play with ball in hand. So hand, ball, and then move into hand, ball for a bit of fun. Score, I'm thinking I'm having some issues with the screen recording. Not sure how much we just missed out. It seems to just be pausing randomly, which is really annoying. Hopefully I haven't missed out too much. If we have, then you can see how much the session plan has progressed, which is not an amazing amount, but activity 1, looking at getting them, this will be from about... Okay, so we've got a handball demo. Uh, key things. I'm going to use this as coaching points. So, who is responsible for So yeah, it's this is all just trying to get them to think about their role in defence. You know, when we don't have the ball. I think I need to discuss the situation of having the ball. Obviously, at this age, the ball changes position very frequently, so it's unfair to just expect that they're gonna somehow be on attack and then we lose the ball and instantly they're gonna have recovered their position goal side. So yeah, that needs to be really discussed as well. So we'll see where those questions take us, and obviously I can use those as a bit of a foundation and expand on them to try and extract the answers that I want and hope that everyone's listening and taking it on board. So I should probably get some more rules for this handball demo / game. So I'll start with a demonstration where I'll get them into attacking and defending teams and ask the defender to stay goal side in relation to their opponent, ask the opponent to move around, and we'll play a bit of a game and see where we go. Yeah, we'll probably need to change the rules within that game. I'll start with a few rules and probably introduce more if it's too easy for the attackers or the other way around. Yeah, we'll see how we go. So after the handball game, we've got to get into some football. We've got to change it to feet. An activity that they can do. I mean, could just go straight into a full match of football on a full field, but I feel like the repetition is going to be too irregular, too low, and that maybe we need to facilitate more turnovers for a single side to practice getting back on goal side. So I need to figure out what dimensions and rules I need to change to make this happen. It's quite tough while the video's running. I don't feel like changing the width of the field is going to make a difference. In terms of, I don't need to make it more narrow, I don't need to make it wider. I am a fan of starting attacks from one end and giving them a number of attacks, but do need to work on the transition of lost ball. So what if I just play normally on football and give a reward a point to the attacking team who manages to get the player in an attacking position effectively where they've outpositioned their defenders. Two defenders failed to get the goal side. They've received a pass, being the last man. So this is effectively punishing the defensive team for not being goal side of the opposition strikers who are receiving the pass. That would hopefully encourage defenders to be a bit more aware of who's behind them and the importance of getting back to be ready to defend. What else can we do? I mean, given that handball activity is very short, we give this. So discussion points. Explain the rules. I think it's not about rules, it's how you get your points. And this is very much going from, what do we call it? Very constant, or relatively constant I suppose, for the handball game, not particularly match specific, but hopefully getting the point across, straight into very, I shouldn't say random, but it is pretty much, I'm not going to put any, I can't think of any constraints to put on the play to encourage defenders to get back goal side at the moment. But I hope that these 2 points motivate them enough and motivate the defenders enough to pay attention to the players behind them. I'll look to stop the play more regularly at the start of this game, effectively to highlight when things have gone well for defenders, and also when they've not managed to get back on defence, or when they've let we're supposed to focus on the positive, aren't we? But what do you do? What do you allow defenders, players to leave and forget about their opposition when the focus of the session is actually on marking goal side, getting back and marking properly? Anyway, this is probably going on too long. So we'll then move into a full standard game. So staying in position was another thing that the coaches highlighted, that we were obviously coming out of position quite a bit. So it's something that I hear will come this season, that the lads will really start to identify with their responsibilities on the pitch. Hopefully it doesn't have to be something that we have to facilitate too much, but we can get the improvements just by praising players who keep their position. And maybe I'll look to highlight that as well. Stop play to highlight players who are doing a good job. We've definitely got one defender who's very good at being that last man, that kind of sweeper role. And if we highlight that, then other players may start to understand why he's getting so much praise from the coaches and parents. The full match will be very low interaction. Be pretty much just praise. And recently we've been finishing with championship results. Who are they? What do we call them? So we've got probably 3 or 4 lads who have consistently been good at penalties. We play knockout penalty shootouts. You miss once, you're out of the penalty shootout, and the top 2 effectively become the penalty shootout takers. The penalty takers on match day. So I might look to start empowering those guys, getting them to teach the others. Just to share some top tips, and we're also doing a sprint session at the end as well. And again, I'm going to ask, I've got one especially quick lad who has had some sprint training before. We'll ask him to share his top tips when it comes to speed. And hopefully get a bit of leadership and empowerment results there. Okay, so that's first draft. May look to add some more coaching points here, really, but I think there's enough here to achieve what we're really looking to work on. That's pretty much it. Alright.